We're looking at child hunger this time, and not just, like, locally, globally. We've got reports from UNICEF, Save the Children, Feeding America, you name it.
Yeah, these organizations are on the front lines, seeing it every day.
Just going through these reports to prep, I was blown away. Did you know that a child dies every 10 seconds from malnutrition? It's about, like, the right kind of food, too, yeah.
Absolutely. The kind of food that actually helps a child grow and thrive. We're talking about things like stunting, which impacts millions of children worldwide.
Stunting, okay. So, for someone who's not familiar, what does that actually look like in a child's life?
Basically, it means these kids aren't reaching their full potential. Not physically, not mentally. Like, imagine a child who's noticeably shorter than other kids their age because they haven't gotten the right nutrition. And it's not just height, it's their brains too. It's harder to learn, harder to focus in school, and they're more likely to get sick.
Wow.
It can limit their opportunities for years to come. The World Food Program actually says almost half of all deaths in kids under 5 are linked to undernutrition.
Millions of kids. Okay, so it's global. It has huge consequences, and not just in the short term. And it's not just how much food, but what kind.
Precisely. You could have a child who's getting enough calories to survive but still malnourished because they're not getting the vitamins and minerals they need. That's where food insecurity comes into play.
So it's like, having consistent access to good food, nutritious food, not just any food to put in your stomach.
Prices, they went through the roof.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Made it that much harder for families already struggling. And I mean struggling to even put food on the table.
It's true.
And it wasn't just prices either. People lost jobs, millions, pushed even more families into poverty. Just couldn't afford the basics anymore.
Like one thing just knocked another one over and then another.
Exactly. Domino effect. And we can't forget about schools.
The schools closing, you mean?
Yeah, schools closed. For a lot of kids, especially in, countries that are still developing, school meals, that's it. That's the only reliable meal they can count on.
It's true.
Schools shut down. No meals.
Overnight, like that.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, they said, by the end of 2022, 122 million more people were undernourished.
It's hard to even imagine 122 million. When you see the same problems, not exactly the same, but similar, in a place like the U.S., we've got money, resources. You wouldn't think child hunger would be a problem here, but the reports we have, they tell a different story.
No easy answer. But Feeding America, they said over 12 million kids just in 2020 in America, they experienced hunger.
And that was when, the grocery stores were still full, right?
Correctly. It wasn't that there wasn't food. It was that people couldn't get it.
Couldn't access it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
And it wasn't just 2020 either. It's like a constant thing. The USDA, their data from 2021 showed over 9 million kids in America, their homes, they were food insecure. So it's not going away, even though you'd think with everything America has, it wouldn't be a problem.
So what is it then? It's not just about, jobs, is it? Or is it?
It's a lot of things, honestly. Like you said, jobs or lack of, wages that are too low, even if people are working.
Yeah.
Cost of living keeps going up, up, up. So you can imagine, right, parents working, maybe even 2 jobs, and they still can't afford to actually buy healthy food for their kids.
So what's going on there? Millions of kids in America, they're facing food insecurity. How?
And it's more than just, being able to buy the food, too.
Oh, right. Physically getting to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
In some places, especially communities that are already struggling, there aren't even grocery stores nearby.
The food deserts, right. We've talked about those before.
Exactly. Food deserts. So what are families supposed to do? They end up at those little convenience stores or, worse, just fast food all the time. Not exactly healthy.
No, not at all. Makes you think, though, about those government programs. SNAP, for example. I mean, they're there to help, right?
They're supposed to be a safety net.
A safety net.
And for a lot of families, they are. Absolutely crucial. Pew Research said back in April this year, 22.2 million households were using SNAP benefits to buy food.
Wow. See, that's a number I don't know, I didn't realize it was that high. Over 22 million.
The big number shows you how many people rely on that help.
For sure. But even with that help, even if those families are getting food on the table, it seems like there's a bigger impact,
Right.
For the kids, I mean.
Oh, absolutely. It goes beyond just missing a meal here or there. It's like their future almost.
Makes you feel kind of helpless, honestly.
Yeah.
But there are those stories, those organizations out there doing good work.
Right. It's not all hopeless, is it?
No, not at all. There are definitely some bright spots, organizations doing amazing things, both here and globally.
What are you seeing? What gives you hope? One that comes to mind is Convoy of Hope. They're not just giving out food, they're really trying to get to the root of the problem, empowering communities. And they've got this children's feeding program, reaches over 500,000 kids a day.
500,000 every day. How do they even manage that?
They work with local groups on the ground, so they're getting meals directly to schools, into communities. But here's the thing I really like about them. They're also thinking about the future.
Like not just a Band-Aid solution.
Exactly. They're training women, helping them start their own businesses. They help farmers, too, give them the resources to grow more food, better food. It's really smart.
So it's like they're giving them a hand up, not just a hand out.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Really gives you hope.
It does. There's a lot of bad news out there, but these stories, they show you that change is possible.
Yeah, for sure. It's like even small things can make a difference, whether you donate to a group like that, Convoy of Hope, or volunteer at a local food bank, or even just like learn about these problems. We can all do something.
Absolutely. Knowing about it, that's the first step. Then you can actually do something.
It's tough hearing those numbers about kids, malnutrition, but then you see what people are doing to help, to fix it. It gives you hope.
That's the main thing. This isn't a problem without a solution. We can solve this. But it takes everyone working together. Individuals, organizations, governments, all of us.
Yeah, all of us. So if you're listening to this, and I hope you are, think about it. What can you do, even a small thing, to be a part of the solution? We all have a role to play in ending child hunger. It's not impossible. We can do this.